Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. We got a great episode for you today, but I appreciate you tuning in, man, to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you don't like, give us a call at 219-413-9405. If you hear something you do like, give us a call at 219-413-9405. Or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, just give us a call and let us know so we can play back your takes. So I appreciate you whether you're listening to me on Spotify, iPodcast, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast, therunusa.com, or even YouTube. But look, man, it was a big night yesterday. Obviously, the Knicks and Miami Heat, and then you got the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, which was a solid game. The Lakers ended up winning game one, 117-112, and it was a fairly fashionable win for the Los Angeles Lakers, to be honest. So I'll give them an applause for that because it was solid. They played a great game, and truth be told, bro, they really came out there and just little bro'd the Warriors. If we're being honest about the situation and what really went down. The interior was a force to be reckoned with thanks to Anthony Davis. The paint protection was a force to be reckoned with because of Anthony Davis. They protected the paint well, they defended the paint well, and they exploited the Golden State Warriors paint. Another key factor here that makes a huge difference is the fact that the Golden State Warriors could not defend without giving up a foul. Oh my goodness. The Lakers shot 29 free throws. 29 free throws with 54 paint points. That was over 60% of their points that came just from free throws and paint points off the rip right there. So that's areas that the Warriors, to me, has to clean up in. But something I will say that I noticed throughout this game, and actually throughout the playoffs, honestly, is that whenever the Lakers play well, it's because of Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis typically has a great game whenever the Lakers have a great game. You see what he did last night, had almost a triple-double, I think it was, but he had 30 and 20-something rebounds, so it was crazy. He did his thing last night. It was hard for Looney to defend that because he's a much slower guy than Anthony Davis, which goes back to being in foul trouble, because if they weren't in foul trouble, then Draymond Green would have been able to play and defend Anthony Davis. Now, I'm not saying that Green would have been able to lock Anthony Davis up. Obviously, he was rolling. It wasn't much you could do. But in terms of defending, getting key stops, I'm sure it would have helped. In terms of getting rebounds, on top of what Looney was already doing, I'm sure it would have helped. On top of maybe throwing a different scheme at the Lakers, I'm sure it would have helped completely. So credit to the Lakers because they did their thing. They did their thing. But here's something that I really didn't understand with the Lakers, despite the great game that they had. Why wouldn't the Golden State Warriors allow the Lakers to beat them by shooting the three ball? They stunk at shooting the three ball last night. They made 1 3 out of all the threes they jacked up in the first half. And then even in the second half, they only made 4 threes out of all the threes they jacked up in that second half. So to me, I'm like, if you know this team cannot shoot the three ball well, force them to beat you by shooting the three ball. Close off the paint. Bring everything to the paint. Make sure they can't score in the paint. Even though the guarding a pick and roll with AD and D'Lo or AD and Bron is very difficult, I will admit that. It's extremely tough to guard. But you gotta, man, put them bodies in the paint, bro. Put the bodies in the paint. Make the Lakers beat you by shooting. I think that's going to be a key piece or a key difference that we see in game 2 whenever that game airs, is that the Warriors are going to be a lot more focused on trying to keep everyone out of the paint and forcing the Lakers to beat them by shooting the three ball. Because as I was watching this game, I noticed, I'm like, okay, Lakers are only getting points inside the arc. They're not really getting any 3-point shots that's giving them 3 points. They're just consistently making 2-point shots, whether it's a layup, whether it's a mid-range, whether it's a free throw line shot or anything. It's just consistent 2-point shots, which allowed them to go toe-to-toe with the Warriors, although the Warriors had a pretty good shooting night, honestly, because they didn't shoot bad from the 3-point line. It's just the fact that the Lakers were able to keep up because they continued to score bucket after bucket. So to me, between the paint protection, playing defense without fouling, and allowing the Lakers to shoot threes, those are key 3 differences or 3 key differences that need to change come game 2. I'm not letting the Lakers beat me by exploiting my paint again. It's not happening. I'm letting them shoot as many threes as they want. If they beat me by shooting threes, so be it. You earned it. But I highly doubt that's going to happen because they're going to shoot a whole lot more and miss a whole lot more than what they make. So that's my thoughts on that, man. But look, we got some voicemail callers. We got one of them in here today. So let's hear what he's talking about. Let's hear his thoughts on this Lakers game.
What's good, man? It's your boy, Boots.
What's the deal, Boots?
Here to talk about the game last night, man.
Let's do it.
I'll let you know that it's going to be Lakers in 6. I'm sorry.
Lakers in 6?
Like, Draymond struggled with Sabonis last series. This is a whole new monster, AD. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a tough cover. It's going to be a long series for Draymond. No cap. But on the bright side of things, I think, you feel me, Looney keeping them boys afloat over there, man. Other than that, man, I feel like it's Lakers in 6 because Bron ain't even got to do it all no more. Every time Bron faced Curry, Bron literally had to do every single thing. Now he ain't got to do it all no more, man. He's for the clean house now, man. GG's to the Warriors.
Okay. All right. First off, I agree with about 85% of what you said. The thing with Draymond Green and it being extremely different from Anthony Davis and guarding Anthony Davis, that's the first thing I want to mention because you're right. You're 100% right. Anthony Davis is a completely different monster than Sabonis. But you got to remember, man, that's two different teams. So Sabonis, when he was getting his little cleanup buckets and grabbing his boards and stuff, it's really because they have a lot of pieces surrounding them in that Sacramento Kings team. It wasn't like Sabonis was just out there killing Draymond with moves or killing Draymond on the points on one-on-one situations. That wasn't the case at all. It was really because Draymond was worried about De'Aaron Fox scoring in the paint. He was worried about Malik Monk scoring in the paint. He was worried about the shooters that they have over there. That's really was the key difference between Sabonis and Draymond. Obviously, Sabonis gave him a bit of battle on the boards and stuff. I'll give him that credit. But when you talk about the difference between Sabonis and AD and Draymond guarding both of them, it's two completely different ball games. I think AD is still going to be able to dominate come Draymond Green not being in foul trouble or whatever the case is. Only difference is it's going to be more difficult for AD to get those points because Looney is not as fast as Draymond Green. Looney is slower than Draymond Green. So when he's guarding Anthony Davis, he's getting killed. On a pick and roll, he's getting killed. If AD picks and pop, he's getting killed. If AD is zooming full court speed on a break, Looney is getting killed. Like, it's that simple. So when you throw Draymond back into the equation in terms of defending Anthony Davis, yes, obviously AD got the size advantage and all of that. He's a taller player. He's still probably going to get his board. It's nothing you can do about that. He's a great player. He's going to get his regardless. But at the end of the day, Draymond is going to be able to help out in certain situations that Looney just can't be better in, honestly, in terms of passing, in terms of grabbing loose balls, in terms of the pick and roll, defending the pick and roll because Draymond's quicker. It's just certain things that will benefit Draymond Green from guarding Anthony Davis versus where Looney was guarding Anthony Davis. It's two different players. Obviously, it comes with the give and take. But ultimately, I don't think it's going to be a complete shit show if Anthony Davis is defended by Draymond Green rather than Looney. Both of them do a great job, but Anthony Davis is going to get his regardless, either way. Second thing, Lakers in 6. I'm not too upset about that, but I'm going to go Lakers in 7. I'm going to go Lakers in 7. I think it's going to be tough for the Warriors. Obviously, they're smaller. But they're mighty, so they're going to go ahead and push for further and further games. We know what the hell Steph Curry can do. We know what Clay can do. We know what Wiggs can do. We know what Dre and Poole can do. We know what these guys bring to the table when they hoop. It's going to be a dogfight regardless, but ultimately, the deciding factor is going to be if the Lakers can continue to dominate in the paint and start getting that three-point shot rolling. Once they start doing that, then it may be over for the Golden State Warriors. And when I think push comes to shove, when the players the role guys on the Lakers need to step up and make these open shots, that's what we're gonna need to see. That's really what we're gonna need to see because if AD is still doing this thing in the paint, Bron is still defending well, the other role guys are still defending well, and they can also make threes on top of all of that. It's going to be bad for the Warriors. It's going to be bad. And I'm going to just leave it at that. But as far as right now, I got Lakers in 7. But I won't be surprised if the Warriors actually, shook things up and shook my prediction up. But look, we'll take a quick break. We got the New York Knicks and Miami Heat series. I got a few things to say about that. Obviously, some more news coming up. The Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers, all of that stuff coming up. So we'll be right back in just a sec.